Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I know that a lot of us are going through a hard time with all the things going on in the world today, from the riots, from the police brutality, the craziness in government, the pandemic, and, the passing of celebrities. And now um, our dear brother Chadwick Boseman has passed. And I know it's affecting many, very many of us, not just in our culture, but cultures throughout the world, because so many people saw him as an inspiration and as a hero. And I didn't know him personally, but from what I saw and what I've read, it seemed like that he was a very good person. And my prayers go out to his family. I pray for healing. I pray for comfort and peace during this time, because when you lose somebody, it's a very trying experience. It's something that, depending on what that person is to you, it's something that you really never get over in life. You just learn how to cope without that person, and sometimes that can be, in essence, hell. But I want to focus on something that kind of stuck out to me when they were talking about his illness with the cancer. He was fighting cancer for 4 years. So that means that during his time that he was shooting Black Panther, he was sick. And for me, that speaks a lot to his character. That speaks a lot to his passion and his work ethic. And it also tells me that he was the type of person who was living in his purpose. He was walking in his purpose. He was passionate about what he was doing. A lot of people like, oh, he was only 43, gone too soon. Let me tell y'all something. And I don't mean to sound insensitive, but there is no such thing as too soon when it comes to death. There are people who die at birth. So there's no such thing as too soon. Everybody has their time. Whether it's early or whether it's late, we all have our time. But what matters the most in life is what we do with the time that we have. Do we walk in our purpose? Do we pursue our dreams, our passions? Do we inspire other people? Because if you could do all those things in 43 years, or however many years you here, then that's a life well lived. Because at the end of the day, that's what counts. Whether you die soon, whether you die late, no matter how, was it a life well lived? And I think for Chadwick, it was a life well lived. And it's evident in his body of work. It's evident in who he was, the way he moved around through life, his accomplishments, his education. I mean, this is a person who will probably be remembered forever, maybe. A person who inspired people all over the world. That's one thing Dr. Miles Monroe, who passed away some years back, that's one thing I enjoyed this sermon he preached. And he was like, his theme in the sermon, he said, die empty. It was like someone asked, what's the richest place in the world? And the answer to that question is, the richest place in the world is the graveyard. because so many people die with business ideas. So many people die with inventions. So many people die with dreams and solutions to problems all over the world, but they never get a chance, or they never, not get a chance, but they never take the chance to explore that. They never take the opportunity and the risk to walk in their purpose. But when you can die empty, when you can give all that's in you, when you can live in your purpose and live in your passion in this life and die empty, then that's a life well lived. And that's something that we have to look at ourselves, and we have to ask, if I die today, is it a life well lived? Have I walked in my purpose? Have I walked in my passion? Have I given all that I can give, or all that I, want to give to this world? Have I inspired others? And for him to play that role as the Black Panther, I mean, that's the first time many of us, especially the newer generation, has ever really seen a Black superhero on a major scale. Given that, like I saw earlier, said we are a race who's ultimately ignored. But he gave us something new to look at. He helped us to look at ourselves in a new way, from a higher perspective. And eventually what he contributed to will change the world, because it's going to change the way we view ourselves. Just looking back on his life, yes, it's sad. Yes, many of us are hurt, many of us are crying, and that's fine. That, pain and grief is the appropriate response to loss. But then we have to look deeper. And we have to rejoice in the fact that he lived well. Even fighting cancer, he got up and he did that film. He did Black Panther. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced being sick or having some type of major illness for a short period or a long period of time, but it's hell, because you don't know what your body's going to do from one day to the next. And I can imagine probably some days on set when he have a good day, he probably go back to his trailer or wherever he was staying and be like, today was a good day. I pray tomorrow will be the same. I pray that I don't have any health issues or crises that, prevent me from doing my job and doing what I need to do. Or going to doctor's appointments and treatments and praying that they don't put you in the hospital. Or if you're in the hospital, you want to be able to get out. It's hard. And it's the same thing with Six Figure Chick. She had cancer, but she fought through that to give what she had to give to the world, to walk in her purpose. And that's one thing, we have to look on people like those two and others. And we have to model our life after that. We have to walk in our purpose, whatever it is that we supposed to be doing, whatever it is that we're passionate about, that we feel in our heart and our spirit that we're supposed to be doing, we have to walk in it. Because, in the case of, Chadwick, and Six Figure Chick, I mean, you have a lot to give. You have a lot of people to inspire. Because people are going to take what you gave them and they're going to move forward. And they're going to push the world forward in the right direction. So, I don't want to get too emotional, but I just wanted to inspire you all to, yes, grieve. But then after you grieve, just look at it from a different perspective. And thank God, thank the universe that he was here. And that even though he was sick, he did what he had to do to inspire everybody else, to inspire the rest of us. Because indeed, he was a gift to the world. And he even worked through sickness and pain just to give what he had to give to the rest of us. And to be that character, not only that character, but to be himself for the rest of us. But anyway, y'all, that's all I have to say about that. Love y'all. Peace.